everyone. Welcome at the For Honor Masterclass. My name is Luc Duchesne. I'm the brand director on For Honor, and I will be your host for the event. I'm joined with Biojad Alangranger, game designer, and by Jason Vandenberg, creative director on For Honor. Hello.
Hi, everybody.
Hi there. Hi, you guys are.
Oh, bring it on.
Yeah, that's better.
You're still awake. Oh, you're still awake, man. It's a long night, though. You still got it in you. I love it.
That's good. So it's been 2 days already since it restarted. How do you feel? Like still alive?
Yeah.
Yeah, barely.
After that, hell yes. I was pretty tired, and then we got the roar, right?
So now we're good.
Now we're good.
Now we're good to go.
energized. Ow! Ow! Wow.
So what we're
These are
going to do
cool.
tonight, we're going to ask a couple of questions to Jason and Biojad, watch a couple of videos, and after that, we're going to take some questions from you in the audience and from the people watching at home. So Jason,
Oh, God.
let's start with you.
Do we have to?
Yeah, we do.
All right.
That's what we said
You're
before.
older.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. That
this
starts
is
really,
yours.
really well.
No, it's in your back, actually.
It's
It's-
Yeah,
this
you
one
can take it out.
belongs to you.
Yeah, you have the cane and everything,
on.
so obviously you're older than us.
Go ahead.
So, this game, this is a very personal project for you. I know the story because I sit about 10 feet away from you in the office, and, and I heard it many, many times. Why don't you share how this project started, the genesis of For Honor?
Oh, God.
The short version, please.
Okay, the short version. So, For Honor, as Luke said, is it's something that's been in my head for quite a long time. This actually started about 12 years ago. I was taking a class, and this is going to sound really geeky. I was taking a class in longsword, German longsword.
Not geeky at all.
No.
Oh, no.
I am that guy. That's the one. I was learning this particular style called Western martial arts. And I was really struck by how simple it was, by how easy it was to learn. And of course, I was making games and thinking about that. I was walking home one day from the dojo and along the beach there in San Francisco, and I started thinking about controllers, etc. And I thought about what could I take? I could take this pattern that we had on the wall, and I would put it on the right stick, and what would happen? And quickly, I had felt like I sort of fell into this new place where we could create a new layout on the controller that would make me feel when I'm playing the same way that I feel when I pick up a weapon and I do it in real life, right? Yeah, so I mean the emotions of fighting would be closer because I would have direct control over my weapon on the right stick, but it would still be super accessible and easy to play. So that was cool. I got really excited. I was like, yes, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. So I started pitching the game to anyone who would listen. And for 10 years, the answer was no, that sounds dumb. We don't make that kind of game. No and no. Then I had just finally, I guess, after a while, asked the right guy. I asked Yanis Malat, who's
Our boss.
Our boss, yes.
Our big
the head
boss.
of,
Hello,
head of
Yanis.
Hello, Yanis.
Hi, Yanis. The head of Ubisoft Montreal. And instead of saying no, Yanis said, I would like to introduce you to a team. And he introduced me to Steph Cardin and a group of people that had worked on Naruto and a bunch of other stuff at Ubisoft Montreal. And I pitched them my idea. And they said, wow, that's a great idea. It's kind of messed up in a few important ways, so we should work on it, because it was just an idea. And so we kind of fell in love. And they were looking for a new CD, so we started working on
CD for creative director.
creative director. And here we are, years later, with the game that the team has produced, which started from an incomplete and sort of half-assed idea from me. And then they turned it into the real deal and made it into the full game. So that's kind of how it happened.
So can you believe this is the short version? There's a longer version of
Right.
that story, but we will skip it for tonight. So 2 days ago on Monday, it was a big reveal for us. I think the Ubisoft press briefing. I don't know who watched it.
I played.
Yeah, Biojad played, and
well.
she got killed.
Got killed.
He presented.
Don't talk about that. I told you.
Yeah, sorry. He presented, and I was stressed out in the back of the theater, going a bit nuts. So Mr. Guimau came on stage and introduced our game with this amazing CGI trailer, which I like us to watch one more time before getting into more detail about the game.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's watch it. So I don't know if you noticed, there's Knight, Viking, and Samurai in that video.
Did you miss that part?
And I am a Viking.
Too subtle. I know.
And I'm a Viking, by the way. So is she, but he's a Knight. Anyway, Jason.
Honorable knight.
Yeah. So he said. Knight, Viking, Samurai. What's the deal? What's the idea behind that?
So the heart of this game, what we're trying to do is put you on the battlefield, put a weapon in your hand, and give you the tools that you need to win these fights, right, with your friends or against your friends. Knights, the Vikings, and Samurai, these are the three great legacies of history, right? These are the three great groups of people that fought this way. But when we, I've been asking people this question for forever. I've been asking this question for I think thousands of people, right? Everyone seems to know the answer. Actually, so quick show of hands. I'm gonna ask you guys just to pick a side, right? Knights, we see your hands. Show a hand tonight. Show a hand. Thank you. Hello. Yes. Vikings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Samurai.
Oh.
Right on. Awesome. Right on. So, what's cool about that is I didn't tell you a single thing about what I meant, right? You already knew. You guys already made that decision. You made that decision a long time ago, right? Those of you, I don't know if this is true, but when I've talked to people who are picking knights, you're usually talking about, being a defender, standing up for what's right? Or if you're into that cool gear and their weaponry and the armor, right? People who pick Vikings usually are about freedom, right? Expression, fighting for passion, and that sort of thing. People who pick samurai are often about discipline and mastery and skill, mastering your body and mastering the battlefield, right? So knights, Vikings, and samurai, what's it about? It's about you, right? It's about you. It's about what do you value? What kind of warrior is inside of you, maybe, right? This is really what we're trying to do. And this is why we're here and starting with multiplayer, right? And really setting it up. Of course.
Yeah, starting with multiplayer.
Yeah.
There's one question that we saw often on Twitter, by the media, and let's clarify that immediately.
Okay.
Is there a campaign?
Absolutely. So we're going to have a full solo campaign. Yes. Woo! Yes.
So now that it's out of the way, we can move.
Now that that's out of the way, exactly. And we're going to go into the world, and we're going to, talk to you about, because of course, I don't know if you guys know this, but samurai did not actually fight against the Vikings in a European battlefield.
They did
That's
not? They did not?
I'm sorry to have to break
Didn't
it to you,
you
Luke,
take
but
history
it
and
didn't
I
actually
did, but-
happen, right? So we need a world where that happened, right? And we're going to show you that world. We're going to bring you there. Cool. But we're going to be talking about that in the future. So it'll be a full campaign that's its own reason to play. That'll be great. But we're here showing you the multiplayer because that's at the heart. We want to put you on the battlefield, and that's I think where it starts.
Cool. On Monday, one key innovation of the game is the art of battle. New mechanics to fight on the battlefield. So the next question is for both of you because we're going to have a video to show you a little bit more what the art of battle is. But maybe you can both explain what's the philosophy behind it, and then while we watch the video, Biojad will explain a little bit more what it means and how to control your sword on the battlefield.
Go with philosophy, I'll go with the actual rules, right?
Yeah, that's what
I'm the big idea. She's the actual reality. So art of battle is really two big parts. The idea is first we have this new control scheme that gives you direct control over your weapon. And that makes dueling really intense, right? That's what that's about, is we're here to do that fight. But it's also about playing in a 4v4 environment because it's a battlefield, right? And so who's coming up behind you, the geometry that is around you, that is a part of this and your sort of objectives. That's what matters. So the art of battle is really about fighting these duels and then what's around me and how am I collaborating and cooperating with my team.
Cool. So now we're ready to start the second video, which is the Art of Battle 1, and Biojad will really walk us through that video and what it means truly when you play the game. Who has played the game in the room here at the Uplay Lounge?
Like
a lot of you.
everybody.
Wow.
Good. I love that. So this will make more sense for the people watching at home because you could probably explain that. So let's roll.
This is a long.
There we go.
That was long a little bit.
Art of battle. There we go.
All right, the out-of-battle system. So as Jason said, it's both the controls that you have and your behavior in the environment. So first of all, you have to put you inside of a guard position by locking into your enemy. So now you're in guard mode. That means you have your guard that you can see here with the right stick. When in guard mode, you can actually control your weapon. So if you put your guard on the right, it means you put your sword on the right, or other weapons if you play a Viking like I do. And if you put it on the top, that means your weapon is on the top. What is great is that your right stick, as you can understand here, is the position of your sword. So you are in control of your weapon more than in control of your character in that time. So you can see here that if you want to block an attack that's incoming, you have to put your sword at the same position as your enemy. So if he's attacking you from the right, you put your sword on the right. As simple as that. So you put his guard on the right and just block the attack. It's not a question of having the perfect timing. It's more a question of anticipating, observing your opponent, and making the right decisions. So once you get your sword in a position that you want, you can, of course, attack, because that would be kind of boring. So you choose the guard that you want to have. So for example, here on the right side, and then you use the triggers. If you use a trigger that's R1, you're going to do a light attack. Light attack are faster, and they do less damage than heavy attack. What's great is that we also have different options for you that are inside of the outer barrel that are not about the position of your sword, like dodging here. So when you are in guard position, you can strafe in any direction, or you can also use a guard break that will actually break the enemy from guarding and allow you to give a window of opportunity to strike. You can also throw them and throw them off cliffs, which is one of my favorite moves.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, actually.
That's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And the second trigger actually does heavy attacks. So heavy attacks are very hardcore blow. You can see you take a big chunk of the health right now, but it takes a long time to wind up. And when you get one, you can do an execution.
That's cool.
Don't have to comment on this. It's just too bad.
So
So this is pretty much it. It's simple to score, but very deep. And when you're with an opponent and you have to look at him, understand, choose, it gets pretty tense.
the heart of the system, what we're trying to do is exactly what Bia was saying, get you observing your opponent rather than thinking about combos and memorization. You're looking at what your opponent is doing, and you're trying to outguess them, right? And then they're doing the same thing. They're looking at you and trying to outguess you, right? And whoever outguesses the other first, usually they win.
Yes, and the more you play, the more you need to use those systems to feint and to fight your enemy, because going quickly won't help you. Because if the other player is experienced, he'll get away and you will end up in
You
trouble.
should try to do that in the next tournament, so I don't crush you like last time.
Yes, I
She's
suck.
such a smack talker, oh my God.
Yeah, usually in tournament, I'm holding the mic and I'm doing what I do now, so I'm not really good. Anyway, moving on.
Problem is she's actually a badass too.
Yeah, she's a badass. So moving on. So the people here and people on the show floor at E3 Biojad have played a game mode called Dominion. Maybe we can explain a little bit what Dominion is, and right after we're going to walk everybody through a gameplay sequence so they can really more understand what it is. But what's the philosophy of the game mode?
So the high level thing with Dominion is that it's a strategic game mode with a lot of emphasis on skills. So you gotta earn points by killing enemies or controlling strategic positions. And once you earn that threshold of points, the enemy are breaking. So it means that you're breaking their morale, so they won't respawn anymore. At that time, if you kill them all, you win. But I'm gonna go into detail when we have the video because it's simpler with images.
Right before rolling the video, you will see it's a 4v4 match. So team play is extremely important in the game. Do you have any anecdote to share? Because we played tournament and she kicked my ass in that tournament. So any anecdote of why it's important to play as a team and not like go alone and try to kill everyone by yourself?
Only one?
Oh, well, let's go with the short version because we're gonna spend the night here.
Okay.
What's your best one?
Okay, my best one. I think it's we have a move that we call a drop attack, so you can attack someone from a ledge. And I
can't
was
do
on the
that.
mic with somebody else, and it was like, bring him back to the bridge. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm blocking your attack, and going backward. And then we went near the bridge that you will see in the map. And at that point, I was like, oh, I'm blocking, it's so hard. And he just dropped attack and one killed him. So that was so great. It was one of my best moments.
And Jason, what about you?
I actually saw this incredible match on the floor today. It was a couple of really great matches on the floor, and there was a match where at the very end of the game, there was both teams were in breaking mode, right? They were both about to break, and so it was anyone could go. So there was no respawning on the map at all, and what happened was all 8 players met at the center of the lane. They all were coming towards each other in a line. There's this incredibly tense moment of like, okay, who's gonna go first? And then the first attack came, and it was this big mess, right? And then pretty soon there was only 3 people standing. Right?
I don't understand why.
1 from the other team and 2 from the other. Then that one starts running like, ah. So then the other 2 start chasing after him, runs through the minions, and one of the minions hits the fleeing player. They stumble, right? And the 2 like pincer move and take out the guy. One hits him this way. The other one landed the blow and then did the decapitation move to win the mode. So the whole thing was just a beautifully executed team maneuver. And this was with 4 people or 8 people that had were just at the booth, had just started playing together. So it was amazing.
One of the cool things I saw to play as a team is last year we had a tournament in the studio in Montreal. We're over 2,000 people in the studio. So we had this tournament, and in the final match, the team who actually won the championship, one of their guy, he was extremely good in defense. So for him, not having kills didn't matter because he wanted the team to win. So he was always a sacrifice for his teammates. So he was going and attracting 1, 2, 3 players sometime, and they were having a hard time to defeat him because the guy was dodging back and defending. So by putting himself out there, he managed to really help his team to win. So for me, it was a cool moment to see, because personally, I don't have really a lot of cool moments because I'm not really good.
They're cool for me.
Yeah, they're cool for them. So seeing that guy doing that, like how he sacrificed himself for his team, was pretty impressive. So enough blah blah from me. So let's roll the next video, which is a 5-minute video. We're gonna walk you over what's happened in the game. So Bio,
Take us away.
you're up.
Go. So this is the minion mode, a mode I designed with Treason, of course, but
I just talked.
So that's
Better.
So that's a 4v4 multiplayer map. So we are on the side of the defender right now. So they have to defend that humongous and beautiful castle. And the 2 players that we're following are actually going to the front. So you see in the front, both armies are clashing. Tons of people, chaos. To take control of the front, you gotta push the enemy's army inside of their territory. So you take a stronghold in battlefield. So you can see here,
Bang! Sorry. that's
Jeffrey saw that his buddy got thrown down and that he needs help at point C. Point C is one of the strategic points on the map. Those points will reward you with points and an advantage in battlefield. So you can see here the art of battle into action, switching guards, blocking, and attacking where the enemy player is not guarding. And execution.
Love it for strike.
So very well executed on the part of Jeffrey.
Nice taking that point.
So he took the control zone, and you can see here that the control zone C now belongs to the defender team, and that the attacker team just took the front. So they have the front, which is red right now, and they also control zone B as of now. So the defender team is in a bad position. They need to take more ground. Jeffrey is now going to try to get the zone B, so their team is in a better position. He's going to meet up with Lady Anne, because 2 is better than 1. You can see on the right side, on the left side, somebody needs help. Their team really needs some support. 2v1, best situation you can have on the offensive, worst you can have on the defensive. Nice switch of target here, and again, the art of battle to action. Guard break, and then another nice switch of target. You can see the very offensive Oni here. He doesn't have a good defense, but if he lands a blow, you're pretty much done.
And he lost his head.
Yep. So now we're on the side of the attackers. You can see that both team are breaking, so that means they are over 1,000 points and they won't respawn. An attacker just died, as so did a defender. You also saw the quick execution style of attack of Oni. 2 strikes, you're dead. So another attacker down. You spot a target. A little taunt, because why not? Bill Shuriken. Quick and effective. So now the Oni is actually surveying the battlefield to find a new target, and you can see that the defender in the middle, the Warden, he uses a feat. Feat are unique abilities that you will unlock, and the one he used is boosting the soldiers around him. So they actually took back the front. However, that's not enough to go out of breaking, and the Oni will hunt the 2 remaining defenders. So as you see that 2 of them are coming, it's dangerous. He uses feat the Arrow Storm, which is absolutely deadly. Reduces the health, so he has a chance in this 2v1 duel. Guard break to reposition himself, and
Bye-bye, lady. And
This was nice.
That's how the samurai do it.
That's how the samurai do it. 2 strikes, but if you get hit, you're in a bad position.
Jason, anything to add on following the gameplay?
That was awesome.
Yes, it was. Okay, so before moving on to the question from you in the audience and people at home, yesterday a lot of people had a chance to play the game. So we think it would be a good idea, because they haven't seen that video. That's the funny part of their masterclass. That's a surprise for them, to show you the first impressions. What people thought when they played the game yesterday. So they truly haven't seen the video, because they were on the show floor all day long, giving interviews, showing the game to everybody. So let's watch that video. Then we're going to go on with the Q&A, starting with a question from the people at home. So.
Are they good?
Well, I was pretty amazed about it. I wasn't expecting for it, so when they showed it yesterday, it blew my mind.
I thought it was a great shock. There hasn't been a melee combat game that I've been excited about in a very, very long time.
I was very surprised by For Honor. When you guys said that you had a new IP, I was curious, but then when I saw like Vikings and Samurai, I was like, whoa, what is this? I want to know more about it. You are speaking my language.
It felt incredible. It felt like I was actually in the war, because like you started off with your friends and then you look behind you and there's like a wave of other like soldiers ready to attack the other ones, and you're just like, yeah, you're just ready for war. It's pretty awesome.
Playing a video game where the combat is the core principle, I should say it's really refreshing.
The graphics are beautiful, the gameplay, and it's an all-action game, so I really like that.
The battle is kind of crazy, and I love it. But you see the moment when they realize that they're losing, so they try to run away and whatnot, and you just ran them down, pushed them off, got the capture points, and just totally got to rip your friends in an online game. That looks amazing.
You know, gang up on people with swords in up-close combat. I don't think of another game that's done that.
It's a team-based game. It's real fun. The graphics stunning, so I could hardly wait for until the actual game comes out.
It changes the way I think about a melee-based game.
When you're like a little kid, like those dreams you had of fighting as a knight, that's like coming true right now.
That's pretty cool.
Oh.
Does anyone have a tissue?
I told you I bring
My left neighbor is
waterproof
crying.
mascara for
Oh, you have waterproof
E3.
mascara? Thank God I didn't wear one. Okay, so now we are at the point
awesome.
where
That was awesome.
we're turning to you and the people watching at home, and where we invite, where is my friend Space Elephant? Here you are.
1, 2. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, so that's Emil. Emil is one of our ComDev, community developer on For Honor, and Emil will be your voice, especially for you watching at home.
Thank you, Luke. First, we're still a very new game, a very young game, and we already have a lot of community members that are really engaged right now. So I want to thank everybody. Thank you for your support. That's really appreciated. And yeah, why not? Applause.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
So yeah, we have a lot of questions actually. The first one is from Erie Bus on Twitter. This question was very popular. So, guys, is there going to be any kind of customization in For Honor?
Actually,
yes.
there's one of the ones I done in the presets that you can play on the floor, right?
Yes,
You picked it.
Yeah.
Picked it.
You made the presets, absolutely. So yes, we're gonna have customization, no question about it. What you're seeing here is in the game is our first hero. Each faction has several heroes. You're gonna pick your hero, and then you can customize them as you like. The Warden, as an example, is always going to fight with that longsword that you're seeing. They're always going to have heavy armor because that's the way that unit fights, right? But then you have your Warden, and then as you evolve that character, you can tweak and refine their gameplay to be more or less more like the way that you want to play that character. And then of course we'll have lots of customization options for you to be able to express yourself and that kind of thing.
But even if you take a character for a game, you can take another one in another game. So you don't have to commit to one hero at the start of the game because I wouldn't be able to choose. Anyway.
Yes, you'll be able to play them all. Exactly.
Cool. So now, Space Elephant, are we going in the room?
We have a couple more questions here from Twitter and from Twitch. The next one is from Farouk, actually, who asks, how many abilities are there for each class, and can you upgrade them?
The abilities that you're seeing in the walkthrough, right, that Bio was talking about, those are feats like the Arrow Storm and the Catapult Strike and those stuff. Each hero has 4 slots, right? I'm going to look at you and be sure I say all this right.
Yeah, there are 4 slots.
There are 4. Don't turn to me. I'm not the designer.
Yeah, of course, and you can actually select the one that you want to have for a battle. So it's like a bit of a loadout if you want. So you can customize also the gameplay of your character, not only the awesome visual of that armor.
Yeah, exactly. And there'll be a few that you can unlock. Each hero will have one special abilities that are just for them, and there'll be then general abilities you can use, that kind of thing. So there's a nice big long list.
One thing that's important though is that you don't select classes. Each hero is completely different.
Yes.
Some heroes are better in some areas, like I mentioned that the Oni is very lethal and doesn't have a very good defense, as the Warden is more all around, is very good on defense, very good in the middle front. However, it's not a class per se because you can play any character and you can play them the way you want. They just have specialties.
Right. Each hero type is focused on a specific kind of gameplay. So if you like fast, quick, deadly characters, you're going to love the Oni character. And if you like the more roundabout, right, sort of general purpose character, you're going to like the Warden, and we'll have many others. Cool.
All right. Next question here from Twitch, from Type 10. Would you say your game has any similarities or parallels to Chivalry?
It has swords.
It has swords. It has knights. I'm a huge fan. I kickstarted that game, so I mean, thanks guys for that one. It's good stuff. We're doing a very different thing. First, our game is third person fundamentally, and what we're really trying to do is create that feeling of dueling. Right? We're trying to reproduce trying to give you the emotions you would feel when you are actually on a battlefield with a weapon and you're looking at someone else and fighting, right? And that the difference in camera, right? The way that the difference in the camera is a huge thing. I feel like sword fighting works really well in our particular camera. So I feel like we have different goals than Chivalry does.
Yeah, well, and in
Those guys are
For Honor, it's really about the connection between those two warrior dueling.
Yes.
So that very personal feeling when you see them coming, you get ready, and then you look at each other and you try to gauge what he's gonna do. So it's a different mood completely. Not mentioning the completely different control scheme. Also.
Yeah, no, that's a great point because Chivalry plays really well in large numbers, right? And we're focused right now on a 4v4 experience, sort of that tight, like, you know. Our idea is when you play an 8 to 10 minute match, right? And you play a match somewhere around the halfway point, you should be like, okay, I'm not fighting that person anymore. They
Or you can say, I'm hunting Luke.
yeah, right.
Farm him.
Yeah, go after this guy, right? You know kind of who you're going to be good against. You kind of get that feeling of personal rivalry going, right? When the numbers get bigger, it's harder to maintain that.
All right. Question here on Twitter from Steven Martinez. Will your opponent always see the indicator of your guard, or do they have to guess by your stance and not the indicator?
So the indicator is always there in the current version. We're a long way from done on the sort of the feedback systems. This is our first encounter, right? What you guys are seeing is kind of the current state, right? We got it to a point where we felt it was ready for you guys to see, and we're getting feedback on that. So we don't really know what that final version is going to look like. The main thing is that I want you to know. We want you to know what your opponent is up to, because I want you to be thinking about what they're thinking, not struggling to read the screen. Right? That's sort of the goal there.
All right. Dump Truck asks on Twitch.
Love it.
Will there be interactive defenses such as boiling oil or collapsible bridges?
We will see.
So one thing that's really important is to know that we will have different maps in the game, and each maps will play differently. We are working on different version of interacting things and see if it's good with the game, but we're definitely open to that idea and trying a few stuff about it.
If it's cool. If
Yeah.
it's cool and it works.
We should not forget
Maybe
we're
we'll
not
have it.
even alpha yet.
Yeah,
so-
see, that's Jason's philosophy. Follow the fun. It's actually fail faster, follow the fun. That's how this game was built.
Yes.
Like you need to, if it's fun,
fail faster.
that's good.
Ooh, question.
Yes, we'll take a few questions from the audience. So here, first one.
How's it going? Mark Live here. First, I want to play all video games with your trailer music.
That's good stuff.
With the trailer music?
With the trailer
It's
music.
good, huh?
That's good.
Thank you.
It's very
Thanks.
heart-pounding. It was
Thank you.
incredible. My question is, 2v1 is obviously going to be a little unfair advantages, but when it comes with the indicators, are you going to be able to defend both, or do you have to switch your target to the other one to see theirs and so forth?
can
And blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you got it.
That's a good one.
When you fight 2v1, we are still tweaking this one because we want it to feel right, to feel that you're at a disadvantage because it's 2v1 but fair. But right now, when you're taking two opponent, if he's on your right and you put your guard on the right, you're going to block everything he's doing. So you only have to take care about the stance, the guard of the guy that you're locked on, and the other ones are really peripheral blocks. So it makes it manageable, because otherwise it would be just like a blur of indicators and impossible to do. I can actually, with the Warden especially, manage two guys for a long time, but the best strategy is to block and be defensive until one of your friends comes in.
The other thing that's key to our philosophy is if you're outnumbered, right, find a doorway, right? Get your back against a wall, right? One of the things that I'm really excited about with this game is it feels like we've built a melee game where geometry and sort of the maps are as important as they are in a shooter, right? Which is really cool. A lot of times when you're playing melee games, we're playing in a kind of an open arena, right? But for us, a doorway can change the whole match, right? It can matter a lot, or just a broken pillar can mean the difference between life and death.
And there's friendly fire, so you can use that to your advantage.
Yeah, move, dodge, and get them to hit each other, man. That's fantastic.
Space Elephant?
Yes, we have another question from this gentleman right here.
How you doing? The first thing that came into my mind, by the way, was Tis But a Scratch, if you know what that's from. Monty Python.
What is it? Oh, God. Beautiful.
And then as for the question, there's I see that you guys have Dominion as one game mode. What other game modes were you guys looking at? Like, I see you have 4v4. Like, I'm sure there's some sort of team deathmatch, but is there also like a showdown type thing where there's just 1v1 or like a 2v2 type thing? Or
Wouldn't you like to know? Oh, yeah. We're here at E3 with Dominion, and that's all we're talking about right now. So we're going to have more multiplayer modes, so for sure, and hopefully you guys can see there's a lot of potential, right? But right now we're just showing you Dominion.
But what's important to note there is that we won't have only multiplayer modes. Also, like you say, there's a campaign, and you can play those modes in split screens and in PvE against AIs. So it's really important to know that all the game modes that we're gonna develop you can play them with your friends also.
Split screen.
And also, if you have like ideas, comments, go to foreignergame.com and interact with us. That's one thing that is very, very important for the team is to work with you guys to develop this game, get your feedback, and build from the ground up that amazing game. So, like, go on foreignergame.com and register and give us feedback. That's what we need.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. The forums are also a great place for feedback and suggestions. Thanks, Luke. Another question here from this young lady right here.
Patricia. Hi. I would like to ask, you're talking a little bit more about multiplayer, but I would like to ask about campaign. Will there be a campaign for each clan, or you're going to mix between them, or how it's going to be?
Wouldn't you like to know? Stay tuned. We got all kinds of great information coming. We're here. The reason that we're doing that is really this. So, I mean, you guys have played it, right? A lot of you have played it. You've seen it. It's really a new thing, right? And personally, like, we are very excited about it, and we're really excited to show you guys what we've done. But of course, we're coming here and going, I hope it works. I hope this works, right? I hope you guys really like it. So we wanted to start just there and say, just look at this way of fighting and give us feedback on that. Let's see how you guys react to that. So far, the reaction's been amazing, right? And then in the months to come, you're going to start hearing.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Love that.
You're going to start hearing more about that. But for now,
Thank you, Jason. We have another question right here.
So, a question from him. So,
Oh, I love that.
It's okay.
so the fighting style. So you mentioned that you took lesson of German.
German longsword,
Yeah.
yes.
So, but to him,
Western martial arts.
That's cool. Well, so to him, he's Japanese. It looked really similar to kendo. Did you get any idea from kendo? Like, we have exactly the same stance, like up, side.
Yes. So kendo, actually, of course, it's not surprising that warriors from in different locations in history discovered that the same kinds of stances keep you alive, right? And so the ones that keep you alive are the ones that we use, right? You're right. Kendo is very similar in some ways to longsword. What you see in longsword is the stances are a little bit, they're not as deep as in kendo, right? And you swing in a very different way. Kendo, you're using a lot of wrist, right? Whereas with longsword, you're swinging with your whole body, right? And so when you hit somebody, it cuts them in half. So it's great stuff. We're looking at, honestly, I've been a nerd of this stuff forever, so we're looking at every style we can, right, and trying to find the ones that really come out, and work great and best in our game. So
Yeah, and the heroes that you see, we actually had weapon masters to do mocap for us. And all the great animation that you see are actual weapon masters that did them. And we have a new innovative animation system that actually picks the best animation with the movement that you're going to do. So it's very fluid, and it's actual moves that a person with that type of armor and weapon can and do. And it was amazing to look at them, both the guy and the girls doing those incredible moves that I couldn't even do. I was like, whoa.
Yeah,
So it's crazy, and it was a great experience to see them perform their art and to try to make it shine into our game, because we have deep respect for the art of combat.
Goddamn right.
Emil?
Yep. Question in the back right here from this gentleman.
First I just want to say I like how simple the mechanics are. Like, usually you sit down for a demo and there's just so many buttons and you're like, what does this all do? And when I sat down, I was really surprised. I was like, okay, this is simple. And then it's just more of like mastering that, and I really enjoyed that.
Can we hug you?
Yeah, can we just come over and give you a hug right now?
Is that
Thank you,
okay?
Emil's giving him a hug.
Is that
Thank you.
okay? Yeah. Emil,
love you.
yeah, thank you.
Proxy hug. Proxy hug.
Yes.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that, but I just wonder if you could talk a little bit about level design and how that's kind of being implemented to kind of accentuate and bring the mechanics into that. And
Oh my God!
That's a specific question.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I talk about level design Jeff
Jeff is
Eleanor,
giving
he'll
demos over there.
Kill me. My level design director is over there. Our level design approach, I think what he would say is that we have this new mode, right? This new way of playing this mode, this Dominion, and what he has been doing and he and his team have been doing is been figuring out what kind of shapes make that mode awesome, right? We have this big front line, we have this line in the middle where our soldiers are fighting, right? And the front line that really defines the game, right? So first, there's that piece of it is making the maps fit with all of that. But the thing that's really cool is what I mentioned earlier. Geometry makes the map, right? So what we're trying to do is, or makes the match, makes your duels really work. So what we're trying to do is sort of fill these maps with places where you can do cool shit in your duels, right? Where you can, as you say, everyone's fan favorite, throw them off the bridge.
That's great.
Right? That's always satisfying to be like, oh, I'm tired. Exactly. I'm in so much trouble right now. Grab, throw.
But when you're thrown off a bridge, that's less fun.
Yeah. Being thrown is not as fun as being.
I have experienced that too many times.
Yeah.
Maybe
So it's great too because it's a whole new space in level design. It's really fun to think to be putting all this stuff in there and exploring this guys. We have an amazing team working on that.
So Space Elephant, maybe one last question.
Yes, one last question from this gentleman here.
Thanks for the last question, guys. Well done. Very exciting about it. You talked
You want to
about...
hug? You want a hug as well?
You want a hug?
Too easy.
Come on, they all want hugs. That's incredible.
You guys talk about tournaments earlier in your presentation, which is very exciting to me as a competitive player. And it makes me wonder, do you guys have a ranking system or a skill tiering system planned out? Because I don't want to hack up noobs all day. I want to push it. I want to play the best.
So I'm the hardcore player here.
Yes, exactly.
The tournament I was mentioning is a tournament that we've done in-house because we're all about competition. Even though you have a single-player campaign and you can play with AIs, you will play against people and kill them, obviously. Yes, we're working right now on our matchmaking system, ranking system. We want it to be competitive, but for everybody. So if you're more in a middle ground type of player or a beginner, there's room for you. You won't have to act noobs or be act by people that aren't noobs. So we really want to be inclusive in this and do a match that's the best for you. Because that's what, for me, makes a better experience. I don't have fun when I steamroll a team, and I don't have fun when I'm being steamrolled, which doesn't happen ever.
Exactly. High level. So what we're trying to do. If you think about what we're trying to do, I mean, the question is sort of like what kind of features will we have to make this experience work, right? A simple way to think about what this game is trying to be and sort of where we're going, right, is that this game is kind of a shooter with swords, right? And so we're going to need all that stuff, right? All the stuff that you need to make that kind of experience work, we're working on, right?
Yeah, private matches, ranking, matchmaking.
It's all part of our...
Anti-cheating things, and you can also show off your rank, and all those things is what we want. So don't worry with that. We got you. I've got you covered.
Cool. So thank you very much, everyone, for...
Great.
Awesome. Thank you for being here. It's a pleasure for us to meet you all. We've been working on that game for a very long time, so it's quite nice to come and share it. If you want to know more about the game, if you want to interact with the team, with Emil, with Space Elephant, and with Sansan or other ComDev, go on foreignergame.com, register to get more information about the game, to get a chance to be amongst the first, to play it as well. And we wish you a very good evening. Thank you, everyone at home, for watching.
Thank you.
'em. 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 'em.